That deathly, deadly place, an anthracite mine. Because of that experience, because of the horrors he had witnessed before the war taught other men the grotesquerie of wounds and death's resourcefulness, he had seen mutilations down the pits to make hard men vomit, wounds suffered not for a cause but for a pittance. So Henry Pleasance knew what happened when a fuse appeared to have gone out, and the men rushed into the mine to reignite it, only to have the fuse leap back to life and blow them to shreds, or bury them alive. A bad fuse was a widow-maker, and his 48th Pennsylvania had widows enough. This would be a day of deaths, he knew, but he would not sacrifice Doughty and Reese unnecessarily, not after all they'd given to get this far. Call it stubbornness, Pleasance thought, or call it what you will. But the pithead rule was to wait 1 hour before permitting re-entry, and he meant to wait that hour. Soon, too soon, the Rebs would be able to see all that waited to strike them. Each minute counted, he knew, and the knowing had weight, but it did not matter that the troops, once past their own defenses, faced barely 100 yards of open ground. Even with the Reb battery straight ahead blown to hell, enfilading guns could sweep the slope, if indeed the Johnnies were blown to hell. Pleasance had reckoned carefully and asked for 6 tons of powder for the mine's chambers. Grudgingly, the engineers of the Army of the Potomac had authorized 4 tons, telling him that their calculations differed. Calculations done by men who couldn't believe he could do what he had done. Soon enough, there would be light for a slaughter, a butcher's light, the light that distinguished men, that marked them as targets. In the morning dusk and stubborn heat, Pleasance drew out his watch and brought it close to his face, a gesture he had repeated countless times since the fuse was lit. He struggled to read the slender black hands truly. Abruptly, he slid from the parapet, landing flat-footed in the last clear space left amid the mass of soldiers, the roped-off hollow at the head of the mine. "All right," he told Reese and Doughty. "Relight the damn thing." 4:15 a.m. Dunn House, 9th Corps Headquarters. Grant came in. "What's the matter with the mine?" he asked George Meade, who had shifted to Burnside's headquarters for the attack. To Meade's relief, Grant didn't seem much perturbed. One fine thing about Grant was that he rather expected things to go wrong, and took setbacks calmly. "I don't know," Meade admitted. Around him, staff men with little to do for the present sought to appear to be doing a great deal. "I'd guess the fuse has gone out." Grant nodded. "Burnside working on it?" He took out a cigar. "I've sent 2 men forward to get a proper answer. Burnside's at 14 gun battery, where he can watch the attack." Lighting his smoke, Grant said, "Think I'll go forward myself. You stay here, look to the rest of the army. If things prove satisfactory, I want a general attack." Meade nodded. Grant puffed, exhaled. "Colored troops, too, if Burnside thinks he can use them. Let them follow once the worst is past. Give them some experience." He smacked his lips around the black cigar. "Just not up front. You were right." Again Meade nodded. Over 4 months he'd learned to read Grant's speech. For all the lieutenant general's subdued manner, his utterances had more nuance than a Philadelphia society dinner. Today Grant's tone did not invite contradiction. A sergeant approached, a rough-cut man feigning respect and not quite bringing it off. He touched 2 fingers to an eyebrow, glanced at Grant, and told Meade, "General, the telegraph's up. She's ready." Meade looked at Grant, then turned sharply to General Humphreys, his chief of staff. "Humph, send Burnside a message. Ask him what the devil's holding things up." A man with the eyes of a wolf and a bite to match, Humphreys said, "Already written. They're sending it right now." Smartly timed, the telegraph key clicked in the depths of the farmhouse. "If he doesn't reply immediately," Meade said, "send another message. Keep after him." "Don't need to be told," Humphreys responded, as gruff as ever. "I've known Ambrose Burnside long enough." For a stretch of silence, everyone waited for the promised blast. Grant consumed his cigar.